Some very good news from Maine. Maine residents have approved a ballot question which will allow voters to rank their choice of candidates. This is called ranked choice voting. It's also known as instant runoff voting. And this is something I've been advocating for a very long time. Anytime someone asks me, how can we really make it so that third parties can have a shot in what is a two-party monopolistic system, duopoly? Ranked choice voting is very, very high on the list. And under this overhaul, ballots will be counted at the state level in multiple rounds, where the last place candidates get eliminated until a candidate wins by a majority. So here's how it could work, right? You have a situation where you've got, 4 candidates, and you have Donald Trump gets 48% of the vote, and Hillary Clinton gets 47% of the vote, which leaves 5%. And then you have another candidate that gets 3% of the vote and another that gets 2 on the initial ranking. Okay, last place is 2%. So we're going to get rid of that candidate. Who was the second choice for the people that voted for that last place candidate? You now credit their votes to the 3 remaining candidates. Who is last again? Well, okay, it's now the 3% candidate who maybe went to 4% on round 2. Let's eliminate them. Who was their third choice? And maybe at that point, well, no, you would if you only have 2 candidates. Now one of the 2 remaining candidates will actually have more than 50% of the vote. And one of the major incentives for this type of system is that you will actually get winners who have a majority of the vote. You won't end up with winners that have under 50% of the vote. But the really interesting element of this is that it can make third parties viable, because if you have a lot of people in Maine, for example, if they were to do this for the presidential race, right, which is a different question than we're talking about. This will apply to U.S. Senate, U.S. House, governor, state Senate, and state House, not to the presidential race. But if it did, you might have a lot of people who say, listen, really, I like the third party candidate from the the rent is too damn high party. I really like that guy. But I'm worried if I vote for him, instead of the person I really don't want coming in second, the person I really don't want might come in first. Well, it solves it, because you say my number 1 choice is the rent is too damn high guy, but then my number 2 choice is Hillary Clinton. And if rent is too damn high guy does not have enough votes to remain after round 1, then your vote is credited to Hillary Clinton. This is a very good system, Pat.
Yeah, I'm totally on board with it. I mean, a lot of the times it seems that we're voting against a candidate rather than for them. And we really have to get out of this lesser of two evils mentality and get to a point where people can just vote their conscience.
This will allow that in great part. Obviously, to really level the playing field, we also need to completely restructure. We need a major paradigm shift in terms of campaign finance, and with Citizens United and the incoming kleptocracy, plutocratic oligarchy that we're going to be dealing with under President Donald. Not particularly likely to happen, but this is going to be, if there is going to be a change to the two-party status quo in the United States, some version of instant runoff voting is likely going to be involved in that. And I know that it can seem like, okay, Maine passed it for everything but their presidential elections. This isn't really going to catalyze change. Maybe not, but remember, the fight for LGBT marriage equality started with just Massachusetts something like 13 years ago, roughly. And it took a while for momentum to build. And now we have nationwide same-sex marriage. When it came to cannabis legalization, it started with a few states decriminalizing and some medical cannabis, etc. And now we have many states that have legalized recreational cannabis. Yes, a lot of it may be undone by incoming Attorney General Jeff Sessions. We'll deal with that when it happens, but it can start slowly. As long as it's a step in the right direction, that's a really good thing. And there's no doubt this is a step in the right direction, Pat, although we know who would be against this, right? The status quo wouldn't want this, because the status quo is the status quo because of the system we have now.
Yeah, I think the third parties like the Libertarian Party and the Green Party would get such a big boost out of that, because when you look at where people ideologically line up with, which party they do, a lot of the times it's those minor parties before a big establishment one, like the Republican or Democratic Party.
Yeah, if you see you line up 90% with a third party and 65% with one of the two parties that has a chance to win, most people, being pragmatic, are going to go with the party they agree with 65% of the time that actually has a chance to win. Ranked choice voting solves that problem. Warby Parker is offering a free 5-day home try-on to give you the opportunity to check out their glasses. I personally wear Warby Parker glasses when I'm not wearing my contact lenses, and I also started with one of these free at-home try-ons of 5 pairs of glasses. You can get your free home try-on and support the David Pakman Show at warbyparkertrial.com/TDPS. I don't really like going into glasses stores and trying on glasses while the salesperson sort of hovers over me, and I like more than 30 seconds to actually figure out whether I like the glasses. So with the Warby Parker home try-on, I was able to pick 5 pairs that I liked, put them on in the comfort of my own home, pick the one I like the most, and then Warby Parker put my prescription lenses in there for me. A lot of people don't know that the eyeglass industry is controlled by just a few big corporations that keep prices very high, like $300 for prescription glasses high, which is just insane. Warby Parker glasses start at $95. That's what mine cost. And for every pair of glasses sold, Warby Parker distributes a pair of glasses to someone in need. You can try 5 pairs and see what you like. Check out the at-home trial and support our show by going to warbyparker.com/TDPS. It costs nothing.